We have passed a one-year anniversary of what has been an incredibly difficult time, an unprecedented health crisis that has had a devastating economic effect. There is now light at the end of the tunnel, but we still have a way to go. This great city was not problem-free before the pandemic. However, many of the issues have been intensified because of it. There may not be a more important time for fresh leadership in City Hall. Whomever takes the reins of City Hall must have a bright, bold vision for this city. They must be independent, open to new ideas, and willing to listen. Andrew Yang has constantly proved himself to be a creative problem solver who thinks outside the box. We are facing some monumental issues that need to be faced head on. People are struggling right now to meet the most basic needs, like putting food on their tables. We must ensure that every New Yorker can go to bed with access to healthy and affordable meals. Andrew Yang has a plan to centralize and streamline the city agencies to help provide food, increase access to fresh food for senior centers and food pantries, and help ensure that students have access to meals throughout the year. In order for New York City to thrive and recover, we must make sure that affordable living is a priority. We want people to raise their families here. Andrew Yang knows what it's like to raise his family in New York City. He is committed to ensuring that affordability is a linchpin of his administration. This past year has seen an unfortunate spike in hate crimes. These crimes are detestable and must be condemned at every level. This is personal for me, and I know it's personal for Andrew. There is no room for intolerance in this city. More than half of all hate crimes were targeted towards the Jewish community. And in this past year alone, there was a 900% increase in anti-Asian hate crimes. Let that sink in. Andrew is dedicated to protecting this community and every community that is targeted by hate. Certain groups have turned Israel into a political football, and Yang has taken an early and courageous stance that he would not tolerate the anti-Semitic BDS movement. As we begin the road to recovery, there will be many difficult decisions ahead, but there will be also many opportunities. I know that Andrew will consider a range of ideas, give each issue the careful and deserved thought it needs, and then make a decision that will benefit this great city. Andrew is inquisitive with unmatched passion and an enormous capacity for empathy. I am confident in his ability, his drive, and his desire to make this city the best it can be. We need a mayor who is forward-thinking. Andrew Yang is not looking to rebuild the city of yesterday. He is working to create the city of tomorrow. And that's why I am proud to endorse Andrew Yang for mayor.
We'll switch. He's gonna put on his mask. I know. Only one unmasked person at a time. Thank you, Kew Gardens. Thank you, Queens. Thank you, all the press who are here today. And most of all, thank you to my friend Dan Rosenthal for your leadership and endorsement. It means the world to me. I had the pleasure of getting to know Dan, and Dan is the kind of leader who is focused on improving the way of life for the people he represents, whether it's getting more than $20 million in funding for Papanak houses to make sure that they had the heat and water they needed during these past couple of winters, to actually completing the construction of the Kew Garden Hills Library, to delivering food to people during the pandemic. Dan is a leader for the people, and he and I connected and bonded on what we can do to improve the way of life for the people that he represents, but also the people all over New York City whose way of life has suffered over this last number of months. Not only that, but there's a reason why Dan is one of the youngest, and I think when he took office, he might have been the youngest.
Dethroned now.
It happens to all of us. We all we all age a little bit every day. But there's a reason why Dan was the youngest state elected official in New York. It's because he has not just the spirit of service, but also a vision of the future and independence of judgment. And I think he and I connected on that as well. We both recognize that the politics of the past has not been working for New York for years. And this is something that predates the pandemic. And when he talks about the hate crimes that are surging in our city against the Jewish community, against the Asian community, against every community, we have to look around and see why that's happening. And it's happening because our city is badly wounded. We have been devastated by this coronavirus on many fronts. We've lost 27,000 lives, including friends, family members, neighbors, loved ones. We've lost 600,000 jobs, 60 million tourists, 82% of commuters. And in this kind of environment where people are succumbing to despair, that's when, unfortunately, it becomes easy to blame someone else, to look around and say there is some other member of another community that is somehow to blame for what has happened to them or their family. And that is the New York that we must turn around as quickly as possible. And I'm going to suggest that the economic problems I just cited, or the loss of life, the loss of economic vitality, these are not political problems intrinsically, but politics can impede our recovery. If you have leadership that sees things through ideological or political terms, it's going to slow us down in terms of getting our city, our neighborhoods, our communities back on their feet. And like Dan, I am laser focused on what we can do to help the thousands of small businesses that are struggling right now reopen their doors, on getting back the commuters that not only mean the world to their organizations, but to the cleaning staff, the security guards, the food truck operators, the retailers that serve them every single day. These are the concrete steps we have to take for our city to recover. I'm so proud to have a partner and friend in Dan, someone who's been leading here in Queens over this last number of years. I'm going to learn from him, I'm going to rely upon him, and together we are going to get the city we love back on its feet faster than many believe possible. So thrilled to be here with Dan, thrilled to be here in Kew Gardens, and let's get New York City going again. Thank you all so much.